Hello students, welcome back to my channel. We are learning the lesson data structure, and in data structure we are going through arrays. So arrays, we have already seen how to represent arrays in a memory location and what are the various operations we perform. Under these operations, in the previous two sessions we have learned four algorithms, isn't it? So we have seen linear search, we have seen binary search, we have seen traversing an array, and also we have learned how to insert an element into the array. So we have seen the respective algorithm and also the code regarding that, isn't it? So in today's session, we are going to learn how to delete an element from the array, and also we are going to learn how to sort a given array, right? So let's continue. So the first one is deleting an element from the array. So how do we delete if at all we doesn't want a particular item, data item from the array? So deletion refers to removing an element from the array. Okay, so when an element is to be deleted from a particular position, all the subsequent shifted to the lower order position. So we have already learned how to insert. So during insertion, what did we do? Whichever position we wanted to insert, first we emptied that, as in we moved the element, isn't it? We shifted and we made space for that particular element, and then we inserted it. Now in this case, suppose I want to delete an item from this. In that case, always remember, I cannot leave an array empty like this. I cannot have one blank 3. I cannot have something like this. I have to fill them. Okay, so that is why if at all I'm deleting this 2, I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to shift the rest of the element to the previous position. So this is how a deletion is going to work in an array. So after deletion, this array is going to look something like this. It is going to look like 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there is going to be an empty space over here. So let's see the algorithm for this. So before moving on to the algorithm, see an example here. Let A be an array with items 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 stored at consecutive locations. Okay, so this is an array. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. The name of the array is A, and these are the respective subscripts, right? Now, suppose item is equal to 30 has to be deleted at position 2, which is that this one. Suppose I want to delete this particular item. Then what is going to happen? The following procedure is applied. And what is that procedure? Copy 30 into item. So what we are going to do is, deletion doesn't mean we are going to directly remove it. First, we are going to store it in another variable. Okay, so I'm going to say item is equal to 30. So this value I'm going to store it in another variable, and then what we are going to do, move number 40 to position 2. So where is 40? Now since this I have stored already in some other variable, I can store it over here. I'm moving this over here, and then what I'm going to do, move 50 to position 3. Position 3 is this one. Okay, so moving 50 to position 3. So what happens now? Now our new array looks something like this. Okay, 10, 20, 40, 50. So 30 I have removed. If at all you want to use that element deleted item, it is available in the variable name item. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now see this algorithm. The algorithm is very simple. A is the array with n elements. Okay, so A is the name of the elements, and the number of element in that array is n. Item is the element to be deleted in the position P. So position, where is the position? This is nothing but the subscript from where I want to delete the item, okay, or the data. Now item is the element to be deleted, which means whatever the deleted item is there, we are going to store it in item, right? Now see, first step 1, I'm going to say item is equal to A of P. Now this is my variable where I'm going to store my deleted variable, and P, because we already know, I already know that A is a array, and I know that from this pth position I want to remove this item. So what I'm going to do, when I say this is the name, then when I say A of P, it is nothing but this value. This value is going to get stored in the variable item. Okay, now see here, I'm going to take a for loop where for I is equal to P to n minus 1. So what is P? P is this. Now what is going to be the last? Suppose I have some more elements here. Now what is the length of this array? If there are number of elements are n, then the subscript is going to start from 1, 2, etc., etc. till n minus 1, isn't it? I hope this is clear to you. Why this is n minus 1? Because we are starting the subscript always with 0. Okay, so that is why Suppose if I have 3 elements, then what is going to be the value? It is going to be 0, 1, 2. So this, the last subscript is always number of elements minus 1. Okay, number of element is this, that minus 1, which is 2. Okay, so that is why I'm writing here n minus 1. So last element is going to be n minus 1 always. So now see here, I'm starting the for loop from p to n minus 1. First, what did I do? I stored this variable or the value to item. Okay, I said this is equal to item. Now I am starting a for loop from p to n minus 1. Why am I doing this? Because I have to move the elements, isn't it? So now I'm saying a of I is equal to a of I plus 1. Now what is the value of I initially? I is nothing but p initially, isn't it? So what is a of I? A of I is nothing but a of p, which is nothing but this position, okay? This position. So what I'm saying, this position, the value of this position has to be the value of a of I plus 1. I plus 1 is nothing but this one. So I'm going to move the value from here till here. So again, I value is going to get incremented, and then I'm going to get, the pointer is going to come over here. Now I'm going to move from here till here, isn't it? So similarly, once I remove the value from the respective position, I'm going to shift the values of the array, right? So once this for loop ends, I'm going to process this for loop till where? Till n minus 1, till the last element. I'm going to move that last element, and then I'm going to say n is equal to n minus 1. Why? Now we have removed the item, isn't it? Once I remove the item, the what is going to be last? Since I'm going to move this last element also over here. So this is no more required. My n minus 1 is going to come over here, isn't it? That's why I'm saying n is equal to n minus 1. Suppose the total elements were 3 in this case. Once I remove something and once I moved over here, now I am left with only these two, isn't it? So n is going to be 3 minus 1, which is nothing but 2, which means I have only 2 elements left here. Okay. I hope this algorithm is clear. Let's go ahead and see the code for this. Now, see this program. First, this is my header file. This is my main. I'm going to declare an array named A, small a, okay? And this is my element for loop. This is the number of elements. This is the element to be deleted and the position of that particular element, okay? Now again, these are the 5 lines of code where we are going to take input into the array, okay? So this is the 5 code. So what I'm doing in that first I'm saying enter the number of elements. Okay. So I'm going to take the n value and then I'm going to ask the user to enter the elements into this array. So as and when the user is entering, it is going to come and get stored in my array. Okay. So this I have explained many times. I'm not going to explain this code. I hope this is clear. Next, what do we need? We need the position, isn't it? Position of the element to be deleted. In this particular array, which position do you want me to delete? So we are also saying here, see this, enter the position 0 to n minus 1. So we are telling the user that it has to be within this, which is correct, isn't it? Suppose I have 0, 1, 2, 3 here, and the user wants to enter, user is giving the input saying 6, then this is invalid, isn't it? So it has to be within this. And notice this is n minus 1. Why? Because our subscript is always ending at n minus 1. If the user is giving the number of element is 6, then it has to be within 0 to 5. Okay. If he is giving 10, then it has to be 0 to 9. Clear? So this is what it is saying, enter the position. So first we are going to ask the position of the element to be deleted. Now, this is the very important code of this particular program. Here where we are going to do the deleting and shifting. Okay. So first I'm going to check if p is greater than n minus 1. So let us take an example. Suppose I have taken n is equal to 4. My n value is 4. Then what did we take? We took the value into the array. So a is my array. So suppose this is 10, 20, 30 and 40. Okay. Suppose the position which I have taken is 2. Suppose I want to delete this particular item. So here it is 0, 1, 2, 3, isn't it? So 2 is over here and I want to delete this particular item. So what is going to happen? So initially we are going to check if p is greater than n minus 1. What is p? P is nothing but the position to be deleted and n minus 1 is our last item, isn't it? This is my n minus 1. We are checking if this particular P position which we want to delete, is exceeding this. If it is exceeding, which means that it is invalid position. Okay, because if the user has given the position value which is greater than our number of elements, then we cannot delete that item, isn't it? So first we are going to check that condition, and then if it is not true, only then we are going to perform the deletion. Okay, so in our case this is false. Why? Because p value is nothing but 2, which we have taken over here, and it is greater than n minus 1 is 3. Is this greater than n minus 3? No, it is false. Hence, we are going to come to the else part, right? Now, in else part, what is going to happen? Initially, we are going to store the element which we are deleting. So, LE is equals to A of P. P we already know 2. So, A of P is nothing but A of 2. So, 30 is going to get stored in element. Now what I want to do, now I am going to, since I have taken this is a blank place. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift over here. And how am I going to do? I'm going to take a for loop. Now students, check here, see here carefully, this is going to be n minus 1, okay? So initially, I value is going to be P, which is nothing but 2. And then I'm going to check is 2 is less than n minus 1, which is my 3. Yes, this is correct, isn't it? This is true. Then in that case, I'm going to say A of I is equals to, so in our case, I is nothing but 2. This is equal to A of I plus 1. So this particular statement, okay? So A of I is nothing but 2. A of I plus 1 is nothing but 3. So what I'm saying, A of 2 is equal to A of 3. So A of 2 is this one and A of 3 is this one. So I'm saying move this over here. So the 40 is going to come over here and here it is going to be blank. Okay. So now what next? I'm going to increment the I value. So I value is going to become 3. Now I'm checking is 3 is less than 3. Is this true? This is not true, isn't it? So we are going to come out of this for loop. And here also if you see, actually we are done with our shifting. So this is fine. Now I'm going to say n is equal to n minus 1. Why? Because I need to move this n minus 1 to over here because we have deleted the item. So my number of element is nothing but n minus 1. N is going to be in our case n minus 1, which is 3. Okay. So initially how much was n? The total number of elements were 4 here and we deleted 1. Now we are left with only only 3, isn't it? So that is why this is correct. I hope this is clear to you all. If you want me to explain this with another example, if there are a lot of shifting, so see here, n is equal to 5 if I'm taking and I have these many elements. Okay. So now this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay. Now I'm going to say my position is I want to delete the very first element. So position is equals to 0, right? I'm checking what is n minus, this is 4. N minus 1 is 4. Is 0 is greater than 4? Is this true? No, this is not true, isn't it? So I'm going to directly come over here. Initially, I'm going to store the element value that is A of P. The position is 0. So 10 I'm going to store over here. Now next for loop. First it is going to be I is equal to 0, isn't it? Then we are checking this is n minus 1. So whether I is less than n minus 1. So 0 is less than 4, isn't it? This is true. So what I'm going to do now, A of 0 is equals to A of 1. Okay, so what is going to happen? This particular item is going to, 20 is going to move over here. Here I'm going to get 20. Okay, so this is going to become blank. Again, I value is going to get incremented. This is going to become 1. Is 1 is less than 4? Yes, this is true, isn't it? So I'm going to again move A of 1 is equals to A of 2. So what is happening here? This is my 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have extra. This is my 4. Okay, this is my 4. So what is going to happen? A of 1 is going to be A of 2. So this 30 I am going to move over here. Okay. So continuous shifting we are doing till we are reaching n minus 1. So again, I value is going to become 2 now. I'm going to check is 2 is less than 4. This is true. Hence again, A of 2 is equal to A of 3. How am I getting these values? From this particular statement. Okay. So I value is nothing but 2. This is equal to I plus 1 is 2 plus 1. So 3. So where is this a of 2? A of 2 is over here, a of 3 is over here. So I'm going to move the a of 3 value to a of 2. And what is going to happen here? This is going to become 40 and this is going to become empty. Now again, I value is going to get incremented to 3. Is 3 is less than 4? Yes. So again, I'm going to do a of I is equal to a of I plus 1. Okay, so a of 3 is going to become a of 4. So a of 3 is here. A of 4 value is going to get moved to my third position. Okay, so this 4 is going to remain blank. Now again, I value is going to get incremented to 4. Is 4 is less than 4? No, it is not, isn't it? This is false. Hence, we are going to end this for loop and we are directly coming over here because we have come to the end, isn't it? So now n value is going to be n minus 1, which is nothing but n minus 1 in this case is 4. Okay, so initially our number of elements were 5 and now it is 4. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is not, in this case it was 5. Yes, now it is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is right. Okay, so I've explained with 2 examples this particular code. I hope this is clear. This is all about deleting an element from the array. Now next we have sorting. What do you mean by sorting? Sorting is nothing but arrangement of the element in some order. It can be ascending or descending, right? Now, sorting is the arrangement of element of the array in same order. We are going to learn about insertion sort. There are many types of sorting algorithm, students. Okay, but then what we are going to learn is insertion sort. Now, what is this insertion sort? The first element of the array is assumed to be in the correct position. So suppose I have a array something like this. I want to arrange the data items in some order. It can be ascending, it can be descending. So how am I going to do? The first element of the array is assumed to be in the correct position. We are going to take this as a sample, okay? And I'm going to think that this is in the correct position, okay? Next element is considered as the key element and compared with the element before the key element, and it is inserted in its correct position. So what we are going to do is we are going to take this first element and we are going to compare it with this. Okay, and we are going to see whether this is greater than this or whether this is less than this, and accordingly we are going to arrange it. Okay, so when we see the algorithm with an example, it is going to be more clear. So see, there is an example here. So consider the following list of numbers: 70, 30, 40, 10, 80 stored in the consecutive location. So think of it as an array, something like this. Okay. Now, assuming 30 in the correct position, 70 is compared with 30. So we are thinking this is in the correct position and I'm going to compare 70 with 30. Since 30 is less, the list is now 30, 70, 40, 10, 80. Okay, so I'm comparing first two elements and which is less. Suppose I want this array to be in ascending order. Since this is less and this is more, I'm going to swap it. Okay, so now once I swap it, the new order is going to be something like this. Okay, now 40 is the key element. First, it is compared with the 70. Okay, now I'm considering this as a key element, this one, and then I'm comparing it with 70. Since 40 is less than 70, it is inserted before 40. The list is now this one. Again, what is happening here? I'm going to take the very first element and I'm going to go on compare it with each of them. Okay. So first I finished comparing it with 30. Now I am comparing it with 40. So what is happening? 40 is less than 70, isn't it? So again, we are going to swap it. So the new array is going to be something like this. Next, I'm going to compare this 70 with 10. So what is going to happen again? 70 is again less than 10. So again, I'm going to swap it and so before that, now 10 is the key element. First, it is compared with 70. Okay, since it is less, it is exchanged. Next, it is compared with 40. Okay, so what is going to happen after this particular first comparison? I am going to get 30, 40, 10, 70, and 80. Okay, now after that, again, this particular 10 is compared with this. Since this is less, again, it is going to be moved. Okay, so what is going to happen now? 30, 10, 40, 70, 80. Now again, I'm going to compare this 10 with 30. Since it is less, again, I'm going to move it to 10, 30, 40, 70, 80. Right. So finally, I'm going to get this. Since 10 has moved here, there is no more comparison to be done. So this is my final array for this particular step. Now again, last we are left with 80. We have not compared 70 with 80, isn't it? So now 80 is the key element and compared with the sorted element and the placed in the position. Since 80 is greater than 70, it is remain in the same position. Now then this is going to be our final array, which is in a sorted order, isn't it? So this is how we are going to do the insertion sort. Now let us see the algorithm. Let A be an array with n unsorted elements. The following algorithm sorts the element in order. Okay, so let us take the same example and we see how it works. So initially we had 70, 30, 40, 10 and 8. Okay. For I is equal to 1 to n minus 1. So we are starting with 1. Remember here. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what is n value here? Number of element is we have 5 element and my n minus 1 is nothing but 4. Okay, which is this one. Now remember we are starting from 1 to n minus 1. Why? Because like I said, we are going to assume that this is in a correct position. We are going to compare it from here, isn't it? So that is why we are going to start from 1 to n minus 1. Now, step 2 is j is equals to I. I'm going to take an element and I'm going to say j is equal to I. I value is 1 in the first case. Okay. While j is greater than or equal to 1, j value is 1. Is it 1 is greater than or equal to 1? It is true, isn't it? If a of j is less than a of j minus 1, what is a of j? A of j is 1, a of 1. And we are checking if it is less than a of j minus 1 is nothing but 0. So we are comparing this and this, 0th element and the first element. Is this less than this? No, it is not, isn't it? Sorry, a of 1 is less than this. Yes, in our case, it is true, isn't it? So what is going to happen? 30 is less than 70. So this value is 30, this value is 70. This is true. So then what we are going to do is we are going to swap. So first I will say I take a temporary variable and store 30 in that. And then I'm going to say a of j is equals to a of j minus 1, which is nothing but my 70. And then I'm going to say a of j minus 1 is equals to 10. Okay, and that temp value is nothing but 30. So what is going to happen here? First, I'm going to take this and store it in a temporary variable. Then I'm going to move this 70 over here. Okay, so the 70 is going to come here. This is going to become 70. And then the temporary variable, whatever I stored, that I'm going to move it back to this place. So 30 is going to come over here. So this is how this code works. Okay. So let's see. Let me draw this again. The array. So initial values were 70. Now we have moved 70, 30, 40, 10, 80. Okay, we have swapped it. Now, if this one ends and we are going j is equal to j minus 1, j value is going to become j minus 1. So what is our j value? J value is nothing but 1. So it is going to become, so if ends and j is equal to j minus 1, j is going to become 0. Okay, and then we are going back to our while loop. Again, we are checking if j is greater than or equal to 0. So is this 1. So is j is greater than or equal to 1? No, it is not true, isn't it? So we are going to come out of this while loop and we are going back to our for loop. Now I value is going to get incremented to 2. So I value becomes 2 and then we are going to say j also is equals to 2. So what is going to happen? We are going to come over here and we are comparing to the neighboring thing. While j is greater than or equal to 1, it is greater than or equal to 1? Yes, isn't it? Now, if a of j, now what is a of j? A of j is nothing but 2. And is it less than a of j minus 1? Is it less than a of 1? What is the value here? A of 2 is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. My A of 2 is nothing but 40. Is this less than A of 1 is nothing but 70? Yes, this is true, isn't it? 40 is less than 70. Then what we are going to do? We are going to use this code to swap. So 70 is going to come over here, 40 is going to come over here. So that's why once we do execute these three codes, our new value is going to be 40 and 70. Right. Now next, if ends and j is going to become j minus 1 again. So j is going to be j is equal to j minus 1, which is 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. Okay. So again, while j is, this is the second step. If j is greater than or equal to 1, is 1 is greater than or equal to 1? Yes, it is true, isn't it? Again, we are going to check if a of j is less than a of j minus 1. Why we are doing that? Once we swap this, we also want to check if this is less than this. So I am checking if a of j, which is my 40, is this less than 30? Is this less than 30? It is not, it is greater than, isn't it? So this is false, hence I'm not going to execute this. I'm directly going to come and say j is equals to j minus 1, which is nothing but 0. Okay. So again, I'm going to come back to while loop. I'm checking if 0 is greater than or equal to 1. It is not true. Hence, I'm going to come out of this particular loop. Okay. So we have done two steps. Let's see the next one. Next one is now I value is going to get incremented to what value? I value is going to become, we have finished 1, we finished 2. Now I value is 3. Okay. Now again the same thing. I'm saying j is equals to I, which is nothing but 3. I'm checking is 3 is greater than or equal to 1, which is true. Now I'm going to check if a of 3 is less than a of 2. So what is going to happen here? I'm checking if this is less than this. Yes, isn't it? So 10 is less than 70. So what we are going to do? We are going to swap it. So now I'm going to move this. 10 is going to come over here. So yeah, 10 is going to come over here. 70 is going to come over here. Right. So now what next? I finished swapping. Now j value is going to become j minus 1, which is nothing but 2. So now again I'm checking is 2 is less than or equal to 1. Yes, this is true. Again, I'm going to check a of 2 is less than a of 1. Is this true? So what is a of 2? A of 2 is nothing but 10. So 10, is this less than a of 1, which is 40? Yes, this is true, isn't it? So again, we are going to swap. So what is going to happen now? I'm going to swap 40 and 10. So my 10 value is going to come over here and 40 is going to come over here, right? So after this, again, what is going to happen? J value is going to get decremented to j minus 1. So j value is going to become 1. I'm checking is j is less than or equal to, sorry, j is greater than or equal to 1. Yes, this is true. Again, we are going to check if a of j, that is 1, is less than a of j minus 1, which is a of 0. So what is this value? A of 1 is nothing but 10 and a of 0 is nothing but 30. This is again true. So if this is true, what we are going to do? We are going to swap again. So I'm swapping 30 and 10. So see here, 10 is going to come over here, 30 is going to come over here. Now, so now j is 1. Once I finish this, I'm going to execute this. So j is going to become 0. And then we are checking this particular condition is j is greater than or equal to 1. Is this true? This is not true. Hence, we are going to come out of the while loop and we will move back to the for loop. Okay. I hope you're understanding this. So each step we are going to compare the data item with the previous item so that we can swap it until we have come to the beginning of the array. Okay. Until the j is equals to 1, we are going to compare them with the previous item, and then if it is less, then we are going to swap it. Now, we completed j is equals to 3. Now j is going to become 4. Okay. So, I is going to become 4. So j is also going to become 4. Is 4 is greater than or equal to 1? Yes, it is, isn't it? So I am asking if a of 4 is less than A of 3. Is this true? So what is A of 4? A of 4 is nothing but 80. A of 3 is nothing but 70. Is this true? This is not true because this one is greater, isn't it? So since this is false, we are going to come out of this. We are directly going to come over here. So J value I am going to reduce. J is going to become 3. So now again I'm checking if J is greater than or equal to 1. Yes. So again I'm comparing if J of 3 is less than A of 2. Okay. So is this true? A of 3 is nothing but 70. And is this less than 40? No, this is also false. Again, J value is going to get decremented. I'm again checking A of 2. Is it less than A of 1? Okay. So what is A of 2 value? It is nothing but 40. And A of 1 is nothing but 30. This is also not true, isn't it? So again, J is going to become 1. And I'm checking if A of J, which is 1, is it less than A of J minus 1, which is 0? The values are 30 is less than 10. No, this is also not true. Now J value is going to get reduced to 0. So when it is 0, this is going to become false. Hence, we are going to come out of the while and we will come to the for loop. Now, the I value is going to get incremented to 5, isn't it? But our condition is only till n minus 1. And what is our n minus 1 value? Which is 4. That is why when I becomes 5, this particular condition becomes false and we are going to come out of our for loop also. And we are going to exit our algorithm. But now this is our final output and this is in a sorted order, isn't it? So if you also, after you watch this video, take a book and try to go through the code by yourself, taking an example, okay? Go through each and every step and go through each and every condition. You will understand in a very better way, okay? So that is how you're going to learn this code. It might look a little confusing, but when you do it by yourself, it is going to be easy, right? So this is all about insertion sort. So that's all in today's session, students. I hope it has been helpful. Thank you for watching. Take care.